All right, everyone. Welcome back to the Not Our Problem podcast. It's been a week.
Well,
What the
wait.
fuck have we been doing, man?
Actually, 2 weeks
Well,
technically,
well,
because
whatever,
we didn't
dude.
do one last week.
We didn't, but we had a justifiable reason to not, to do one.
Yeah,
That's because we were playing Army and sitting in the cold. It's
it was a
pretty
great
shitty.
time.
I mean, it wasn't bad. It wasn't the best. It wasn't the worst. But it was cold and it was sucked.
Oh, shitty. It was very shitty.
But so I'm here with Mondo, as everyone should know by now. If you're new, Mondo's he's a cuck, and we all know it.
Yeah.
Mondo, why don't you what are we gonna talk about this week, man?
This week has been the long-awaited conspiracy theories. We picked this topic actually like a week before our last topic
Fuck yeah,
that we
did.
picked, and we were like, dude, we're gonna send it on this. So we've taken some time, put some stuff together, talk about. We like to hear back from you guys too. So if you hear something and you're like, "Wow, I really don't believe that," or "That was an awful conspiracy," or "This is why this is wrong," go ahead and message
I
us
mean,
and
we're
tell
gonna
us.
try our best. We're
Yeah.
no experts. I mean, I love
Yeah.
conspiracy theories. It's nothing to like live your life off of. Some people do. Some people make money off of this shit. But
Oh yeah.
I mean, we're no experts. We're gonna try our best. And I know I've been teasing Mondo with my one one conspiracy theory that I have, and here it is. Are you ready,
Let's
Mondo?
hear it. Let's hear
Hollow
it.
Earth Theory. Is the subterranean civilization of Agartha real? Are there Nazis inside of the Earth? That's what we got.
Are there Nazis inside of the Earth?
Is this where Hitler went?
The
We don't
Great
know.
Awakening has happened.
Holy shit.
Holy shit.
I know that's been like a week coming. I've been so excited to say that. But
So what are do you actually believe, or are
Dude,
you just expressing thought on it?
I have like 5 web pages open. I have a Reddit thread. I don't really know, honestly. The best conspiracy theory that I've heard about where the Nazis went after World War II is Antarctica. And
I've heard South America.
South America?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
That so they left Germany and just went to South America. Just like went to South America, and there's like they've actually, all right, now we're getting serious
Okay,
now.
dude. So the Antarctica one,
Yeah.
we didn't even like talk about like how
I know,
the
we went
games
right
like,
after.
that we've been
You
playing.
said Nazis, and it's just shot up to that.
Well, anyways, I mean the game. We tried Stellaris. I got mad. I quit last night, and then I've just been playing Smite. Mondo has been not playing anything because he's bored of everything, and it sucks because I'm just
Oh.
alone. Everyone's moving away. Everyone's not playing games anymore. So nothing really cool is going on there. Still haven't bought the Division 2 because I have no one to play with because Mondo's computer sucks ass. So Antarctica, okay?
Yeah.
Antarctica. So after World War II, they flew to Antarctica, and they have like a base there, like a super underground base, whatever it is. It's been a while since I've like read into it or listened to it. Anyone talking about it, but they basically went there and they upgraded like all of their technology. And
Yeah.
the theory is that the UFOs and shit that people see now is actually just Nazis flying around from Antarctica, like seeing what we've been up to. You know what I mean? So like,
So they're spying.
yeah, but they just live in Antarctica. It's pretty fucked.
So they're Eskimos.
I mean,
They're Neskimos now. They're Nazi
Eskimos?
Eskimos.
Yeah, I guess. So
So if
that's a good
the
one.
Hollow Earth theory, is that a different theory? The Hollow Earth theory is different than
think-
this one?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Damn. Antarctica.
Yeah, dude.
Frozen krauts chilling down in Antarctica.
Yeah, see,
It
it's
don't-
weird, right?
That one's weird. I mean, it's definitely believable because how many people do you know that are like, yeah, yeah, like very few.
No, but which ones do you? Well, I also have the Hollow Earth theory. What is this one? And the Mandela effect. I did have the sleep paralysis one, but I found so much
We'll
more
s-
shit.
We'll stay on the Nazi one for now. Because I have one too about the Nazis.
Oh my god, do you? Did you not tell
Yeah.
me this one? Or
No.
did you? Oh, you greasy bitch, dude.
Yeah.
Okay,
All
so
right.
I mean, like, the Hollow Earth theory is basically the idea that there's like some type of hole or portal, whatever you want to call it, that leads into the hollow earth, and there's like I guess a civilization, maybe another earth inside of the earth, and it's just like people live there. There's thousands of people that just go there, and I haven't done much reading because I have tons of articles, and I'm just kind of gonna skim through here, and basically, one second here. So this says, until more recent times, many people were convinced that our planet was a hollow shell with a civilization of earthly ancients residing underground. There was a French novelist, Jules Verne, known for his series Voyages Extraordinaires, wrote Journey to the Center of the Earth. So I think we read that when we were younger, right?
Yeah.
Around the time that the belief in the subterranean society peaked. So before Verne, the hollow earth concept was originally proposed in the 17th century by Edmund Halley, discoverer of the, I don't even know what that word is, eponymous short orbit comet that swings past Earth every 75 years or so. Halley believed Earth consisted of several concentric shells separated by individual atmospheres, with the outermost layer having a thickness of about 500 miles. So Halley believed natural phenomena like the aurora borealis and magnetic field variants were products of these multiple layers, which he said moved independently of each other. And we have a little diagram here. I can't show you guys. I mean, I could, but I'd have to switch a bunch of shit around in OBS. It's just like the Earth. It's a little 3D image of the Earth, and then it's got another Earth inside of it with a big hole at the top. It's where like the North Pole would be. This also says that more than a century later, Halley's theory was expounded on by John Cleves Sims, who published a paper detailing his intent to travel to the Earth's interior. Sims devoted the rest of his life garnering support for a hollow Earth expedition, but fell sick during a trip to Quebec to give a lecture on his theory. Though he died before his journey ever came to fruition, his ambition inspired Arctic exploration and the first trip to Antarctica in 1838. So, I mean, there's that, which is just, I guess, the premise of it, right? Where it originated. It said it started in the 17th century.
Yeah, no, it did. It said proposed in 1692, because I just looked it up.
Yeah.
They think that it's like a reverse. So like we see the sun, but inside they see the core as their sun.
Ooh, that's weird.
Yeah, like everything's flippy floppied.
Flippy floppy.
Flippy flapped. But like, but they say that the Nazis are what's living down there.
So, did you find more? Because I just have stuff like about it in general. Did you find Nazi stuff? Because I know some of the stuff I found had Nazis in the article, but I don't like none of the ones I have pulled up have any talk of that, except for this one.
No,
does.
this one like actually doesn't say.
I don't want to get too off track with this because there's another guy.
No, this is one of the points we were talking about.
Who actually, he was a general during World War II. I think he actually went into what he said was the Hollow Earth. But this article I have says, do Nazi maps and documents to Agartha confirm the Hollow Earth accounts. So there's Nazi maps that map out what would be the portal, I guess, to the Hollow Earth. But now, I guess we'll talk about Admiral Byrd and the Hollow Earth expedition. So this dude, it's another century ahead. So between the time of the Great Depression and World War II, Admiral Richard E. Byrd, who was a U.S. Navy pilot or Navy general, whatever he was, says he pioneered further exploration of the poles. And after a multitude of trips to Arctic territories, there's one Byrd narrative that sticks out more than the rest: his record-setting flight over the North Pole. So this dude kept a diary, and I think I actually have an article here with some of his diary stuff, but we'll get to that in a minute. According to one of his alleged diary entries written during his polar flight, Byrd came across a warm, lush climate with mammoth-like creatures and an ancient human race that has been residing within the Earth. His plane was commandeered mid-air and landed for him by people in the center of the Earth who intercepted his plane with saucer-shaped aircraft. If we go back to the Antarctica thing, if we're talking about Nazis and spaceships and shit, You know what I mean? Like, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. So, with saucer-shaped aircraft, upon landing, he was met by emissaries of a civilization many assume to be the mythical Agartha. These alleged Agarthans expressed their concern about humanity's use of atomic bombs during World War II and employed Byrd as their ambassador to return to the U.S. government and relay their sentiment. So there's a picture of this dude, and he looks like a fucking hard ass. He's got like some kind of wolf, I don't know, like wolf fucking hood coat thing
Yeah.
on. It looks sweet, you know? He's ready to go to North Pole. So skip
So
a.
this is a team that they sent. This is a team that they sent to go and find the center of the Earth, basically.
I don't know if they were. That was their goal.
That
What
was
it
their goal,
says,
was
I
to
think
find it.
what he wanted to do was just explore the poles, the North and South Pole, more. Okay, because no one's ever
Okay.
really been there before. This is what
Yeah.
during between the Great Depression and World War II. So I think they're just going there to check it out, see what's going on. You know what I mean? I think at the time, if I remember correctly, there actually we were worried about Nazis and whoever else going there to set up shop.
Yeah.
So I think I'm no like I said, we're no experts. We're just kind of going with the flow here.
Yeah. No, I mean there's definitely a lot of actual evidence of people like of the not where the Nazis fled to, because a lot of the Nazi officials that did retreat, they were found later through generations
Were
of
they
people. Yeah. Like literally there are large communities in Argentina that speak German
really?
and are like fluent in German, completely like Aryan race. And it's in Argentina, which is like it doesn't belong. Like they oh fuck, I can't remember the name of the traveler dude that went there and he was talking about it. He's actually doing a Netflix documentary on it. And he says you like literally travel through like Argentina and all of a sudden it's just like German, like
Really?
out of nowhere. Yep.
That's
And
weird.
it's and if he said he's met with these people and they've shown him like their uniforms and everything from their grandfather, their great grandfather.
Holy
Yeah, dude.
shit.
Like
What the fuck?
they ran, and there's a lot of like the worst ones got away. Like the ones who escaped the Nuremberg trials, like the doctor that the every game, like every like horror game you see, they're like, oh, the doctor, like they're making
Oh,
fun of that guy, like the doctor who actually like did a lot of these experiments with like splicing humans and stuff. He ran away to
jeez.
like, yeah, he ran away to Argentina, and his son is still alive now.
How old's that? How old's that bitch, dude?
I think he's like 40 or something, but his
40?
son's like, yeah. His son didn't know what his dad did. Like
Oh,
he was in an interview that he never knew what his father did, but
well,
he always
I wouldn't
he
tell
knew
my
that there's
kid that.
something messed up. Yeah, well,
Jesus.
yeah.
So we move on here. In this article, now I'm gonna give credit where credit's due to this article when we're done here, because honestly, I have my pages split up and everything's very small, and I have like 20 fucking tabs open. So we move on, and this article states that the striking issue regarding the validity of this diary entry is that it is dated February 1947. If it is to be believed, this story covers Byrd's inaugural flight over the North Pole, then one need only look at the actual date when he achieved this feat more than 20 years earlier, on May 9th, 1926. In fact, upon further inspection, it appears Byrd probably didn't quite reach the North Pole, and instead fabricated his navigation records, poaching credit from another team that actually set the record a few days later. But what makes this entry so intriguing is that if it is real, could it have potentially been misconstrued from a later mission to Antarctica? It is actually referring to the notorious Operation High Jump. High Jump was one of the largest operations ever conducted in Antarctica, with over 4,000 men sent to study, map, and reside on the continent for 8 months. The expedition introduced 13 Navy support ships, an aircraft carrier, helicopters, flying boats, and an array of more traditional aircraft. This expedition, as well as the subsequent Operation Deep Freeze 8 years later, established an American military presence on Antarctica, which is prohibited today. So why exactly was there such a rush to facilitate this occupation? I could give some rise as to why. I don't know, man.
No,
I
it's
don't
definitely, I
know.
mean, it's definitely believable. And the hard part is that back then they didn't have phones, cameras, they didn't have anything like that. So it was all on what they saw. And I mean, the hardest part for people back then was shit could be so manipulated. Like someone could have made a discovery, and then somebody else was just like, no, that's not gonna happen. That can't happen because then people will think. So that's what makes conspiracy theories
Yeah,
so
but I
great.
mean, even today with the technology we have, if there is cover-ups and stuff, how do you get if there's, let's say, 50,000 people involved in this, I don't know, alien sighting or whatever it is, alien UFO crash? How do you get those 50,000 people that saw it to hush hush? You know what I mean?
They
Because
don't
everyone has
though. They
phones.
don't. Like I mean like you got to think about it this way like if if you go to like YouTube and stuff, you can see a billion like hundreds and hundreds of videos of people that have their phone like pointed up in the air and they have like a light on it and it goes away. But who's going to believe them? That's the whole thing. The government still understands that like there's a vast majority of Americans that won't believe people strictly on that because there's so many video editing things out there. There's all kinds of ways to do it. So, I mean, we know my views on aliens, but we're not going to get into. I don't know if we should get into aliens today.
Do you not like aliens?
No, I 100% believe in aliens.
Well, I mean, I do too, but like, I mean, like I said, it's nothing to live your life by.
No, I
But
mean like it's not life changing, but we'll
so,
just
well,
yeah.
the thing is, it's just like it's too big out there, man. There's no way. Anyways,
Fucking
so
huge.
this next title of this paragraph is "Were the Nazis at the center of the Earth?" So, I mean, what that last paragraph say in that article, talking about the military presence in Antarctica for the U.S.
Yeah.
Back then, like I said, we were probably worried about the Nazis going to the North or South Pole, establishing stuff there. You know what I mean? Because no
Mhm.
one fucking goes there. Are you kidding me? It's cold as shit. So this starts off with other speculation regarding Byrd's supposed search for Agartha notes, a Nazi presence in Arctic territory. That's a word I cannot say. Arctic.
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 You have to say it like a northerner. Arctic.
Arctic.
Ah,
Arctic.
Dad, you hoser.
Arctic territory, both north and south. So the North and South Pole. It is
Mhm.
well documented that the Nazis explored Arctic regions to set up bases and test novel weaponry, but it is also well documented that Hitler and the Nazis were obsessed with esotericism. I don't know what the fuck that is.
Isoterrorism.
ESO. Yeah. Esotericism in the occult. I can't read, dude. So we move on. It says the rabbit hole goes deep here, with some going so far as to posit. What the fuck are these words, dude?
Jeez, you're struggling.
Posit that Hitler could have escaped to this underground world, though that might be counterintuitive, and if an ancient enlightened society resided down there. So Hitler either went to Antarctica, died, or Hollow Earth.
Or he went to Argentina.
Or Argentina, dude. I had no idea that Argentina
Yeah, dude.
played any part
There's
in
like a
this.
lot. There's like a shitload of stuff on it too. Like, I don't think it's really a cover up. I think because okay, when they killed Hitler, okay, someone said that he killed himself, right? Everybody knows, like, oh yeah, Hitler killed himself. The Russians were in charge of gathering his remains from the supposed suicide.
Wait, who was?
The Russians.
Okay.
The only thing that they gathered from those remains was a tooth that was never ever found. Like they don't have the tooth anymore.
So, how did they recover it if the tooth isn't there anymore? They lose it?
Well, they like okay, so there was this whole like I'm like making sure that these facts are correct so I don't look like an idiot, but
Fun.
he so there's a theory on Hitler's teeth that they didn't actually belong to a male. They belonged to a female.
So his wife?
So it's either that or someone had just placed them there. But the whole thing behind it is everybody's so caught up. Oh, they have his teeth. They could just check his dental records, then they know when he's dead. If you kill yourself, the only thing that's left isn't a fucking tooth.
Well, no, he took what is that? What is that shit? Not cyanide.
Yeah, he took cyanide. Isn't
Was
that
it?
right?
Anthrax? No.
Oh, maybe that. I don't know. Either or, it
One of the
doesn't
two.
incinerate your entire body.
No.
So your body would still be there, right?
Yeah, it should be.
So
It just
it's like
melts your organs and shit on the inside or something along the lines.
yeah. There is a conspiracy theory that Hitler never did ever commit suicide, that he was part of the group that left to Argentina and he lived out his days there.
I never.
Because the teeth date to 1945, that person died in 1945. But that it's not Hitler's teeth. Those aren't Hitler's teeth.
I've never heard of that, nor have I ever heard of people going to Argentina, and that's really weird because I listen to that conspiracy theory podcast every week. You know what I mean? And they've talked about that stuff sometimes too.
Yeah.
But
Hitler going to Argentina, dude.
yeah, I'm not going there, man. Fuck that.
Boom.
I'll just
Let's
end
go,
up-
man.
I
Finish
don't
them
know
all off. Nah, they're probably all dead now. It's just their ancestors. But they say that their ancestors are like super proud of them. Like,
Ugh.
yeah, it's
So-
like
but do they know what they did?
and I can only imagine, bro.
Eee. That's a hard yikes for me, dog.
Yeah. All right. Moving on.
So
All right. Well,
this also says this will tie into the other website that I have, article, whatever you want to call it. This states that Nazi maps believed to be instructions for reaching Agartha have supposedly been corroborated by a letter from a German U-boat navigator named Karl Unger, who claims U-209 made it to Agartha and that the Earth is in fact hollow. The letter also mentions the notorious German Gens Karl Haushofer and Rudolf Hess, who he says were correct about the hollow Earth theory. And it just has a picture of the Nazi map to Agartha.
yeah.
So, it goes on saying that there is ample evidence that the Nazis spent a lot of resources searching for Agartha as a last resort for Hitler to escape in case of a dire emergency, somewhat warranting these conspiracies. In fact, the most common diagram of Agartha was drawn by a German scientist in 1935. And it just has the picture again with some German writing on the side. I'm assuming what would be the directions to the hollow Earth.
Yeah.
It's just like, dude, come on.
Go up, go up, go up, go up, go left, go down. Go down, 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 down.
North Pole.
Yeah. North Pole, then go down. Pretty fucking easy, dude.
North Pole, big hole.
Yeah. North Pole, big hole, go down.
So, evidence also exists to indicate the Nazis may have believed we already lived on the inside of the Earth. Some experiments of the Third Reich show a belief the Earth was concave, and here's where that Reddit thread I found comes in: the concave Earth.
Oh no.
And that we reside on the interior of a sphere. So, the concave Earth. I've never heard of that, so I think I exited out of it because it just kind of blew my mind. It was a Reddit thread. I don't know the user because I don't have it up anymore, and it said that the Germans made a huge fucking gun. I think we all know about the big gun that they made, and it was something along the lines of how this gun could hit Paris from 80 kilometers away.
Yeah. I've seen the pictures.
And when they were testing it, or doing their math and all that shit, they needed to aim this gun at 50 to 55 degrees, which is higher. And this person was, or the theory is arguing that the geometry algorithm, blah blah blah, whatever it is, 45 degrees is like the ideal angle to shoot far away. But it's because of the concave Earth, you need to aim higher. Well, the only thing that I have a problem with in that is the thing that caught my eye the most is because if you want to shoot farther in anything, you need to aim higher, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's
like when
like an iffy one there.
Okay, so what they're saying is with a concave Earth that this was your max. That was the max range you could get out of it since it was a concave Earth. I don't understand why that would make a difference. Oh wait, are they saying that the Earth, there's a center, the center of the Earth is hollow, and that's why? Or is this concave, Earth's like this?
This is the concave Earth theory now.
Oh, okay. So we're not talking about. Okay, so concave Earth, it goes like this, and they're saying that they don't have to shoot as far. To hit. What a bunch of freaking rejects, dude.
That one's not. That one just kind of not on my list there.
So
Chief.
for the listeners, if you just had the epiphany I did, a concave is like a contact lens. Okay, that's what they believe that the world looks like if you flip it upside down, and it's like a little cup almost. And they think that
You're
if
a
you're
cup,
sitting in
dude.
the middle of it, huh?
Nothing. Go on.
You're a cup. If you shoot the artillery, it's gonna come down and hit the wall at some point and not gonna go around.
Oh God.
I was looking at you like,
Yeah, I don't
that
know
doesn't
about that
make any
one.
sense. You're like, if you go farther, you have to shoot higher. I was like, trajectory doesn't work like that. But I'll just be quiet. Darrell's gonna be out in the woods shooting deer. He's like, nah, gonna aim this bitch straight up in the air,
50
dude.
degrees.
Yeah.
50 degrees. Otherwise, I'm gonna hit the concave wall.
Yeah, I can't be hitting the concave wall over there.
Oh my God. So
Oh,
yeah, I
man.
don't know about that one. I didn't
That
know
one's
was a thing
interesting.
until about 30 minutes ago. So we so we continue on here. Talked about the concave Earth, and then this goes on to say, in a bizarre 1942 experiment conducted by Nazi scientist Heinz Fischer on the island of Rügen, a team attempted to observe a British fleet by pointing the lenses of their infrared equipment up at a 45-degree angle. Here we go. They believe that though the Earth was concave, normal rays were refracted off the ocean, but the infrared rays were not. Of course, they saw only the sky, but this shows that they believed and searched for evidence of alternative Earth theories. So, I
Hey
don't know,
man, you got to
Steve.
figure it out some way. Somebody had to wipe their butt with poison ivy to figure it out, you know?
Yeah, I'm so glad I'm not that fucking guy. Then this goes on, talk about the Agartha proof in ancient cultures. I don't know. Do you give a shit about that? I mean, we might as well, right?
Yeah, sure.
So, almost every ancient culture has a story or allusion to the inner realms of Earth, as well as civilizations or people in the center of the Earth. Many of these places are purgatory where dead spirits reside, rather than a society currently flourishing. The Greeks spoke of Hades, the Christians refer to it as hell, and in Judaism it is referred to as Sheol. I probably pronounced that wrong, I'm sorry. But most of these underground domains were more allegorical and religious tools used to deter people from sinning rather than realms actively being sought out. They are, however, closer depictions of Agartha described by some cultures with related cities and passageways to get there. In Tibetan Buddhism, there is the secret mystical city of Shambhala, located somewhere deep in the Himalayas, that many have searched for, including Russian mystic Nicholas Ryorik. Though no one is known to have found it, some believe Shambhala could potentially be connected to Agartha.
I found Shambhala.
Did you? So there's
Yeah,
a
Shambhala's in Uncharted 2, by the way.
Uncharted 2, the
Mhm.
game.
Yep.
I never played the Uncharted, so
All right.
don't scoff at me. Dude. I
Yeah,
just
cuck.
never into it. We also have like on my article thing here. We also have the North and South Pole. It's a diagram of the Earth. It's a circle, and at the top and bottom, there's just a hole that goes into what is, I'd assume, I can't really read it. What I assume is Shambhala or Agartha, one of the two. So, in Hindu and Celtic lore, which some believe shared an ancient connection through a lost antediluvian city, there are caves and underground entrances to subterrestrial worlds. Some have connected the Hindu land of Arivarta, or abode of the excellent ones, a land ruled by... Dude, it's got lines over the letters. I don't know what you want from me. A land ruled by a supernal race thousands of years before the Great War laid out in the Mahabharata. Some believe this ancient race to be one of the same lineage as the ancient civilizations from Atlantis, Lemuria, and Mu that were wiped out by war and cataclysmic events, driving them underground to Agartha. What are you thinking, man?
I mean, other than the name butchering, I think it's definitely an interesting concept. No. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, it's interesting to say the least.
Yeah, that one would take a lot more research.
Look at
Wow.
that. Yeah,
Oh, dude, that's easy.
say it right now.
Rivierta.
That's not Spanish, dude.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever.
actually speak the Shambhala language after I played Uncharted 2.
Oh, okay. I'm sure you did. Go ahead.
No.
So
That would take a lot of research into to really understand because that my mind's blown by that one.
yeah. So I mean, we have a couple more paragraphs here. Only 2 or 3 more. Nothing super crazy. So there's
What are
another.
your
What?
Go ahead.
There's another underworld in the Hindu Mahabharata known as Patala that others point to, as it shares many similarities with depictions of a subterranean world, though it is said that they are at war with the Agarthans. Patala is the seventh layer of the underworld in Hindu scriptures and is ruled by Nagas, a half-human, half-reptilian species who are depicted with jeweled hoods that light the realm. That's sick.
Dude, that could tie in. Have you ever heard the theory about reptilians rule the world?
Yes, and yeah, I
Dude.
have. We're all coming together here,
What?
boys.
Oh my
It's pretty
God, dude.
fucked. So the Naga, God, that sounds bad, are a highly advanced race with cutting-edge technology. Occasionally, they are said to abduct, torture, and kill humans, though other accounts refer to them as having a positive impact on earthly events. And this just asks, will we ever find out if there's an underground civilization? I don't know. Are we gonna find out for sure if there's aliens? Are there Bigfoot?
Yeah.
You know,
I don't know,
I
dude.
think it's just like any other one. At
I
some
mean,
point, I think so.
oh yeah. I think it's possible. I mean, think about it this way. There's an entire ocean that they still haven't been
That
able
freaks
to.
me the fuck out, dude.
Isn't that crazy? Like I was
Yes.
thinking about that yesterday when I was sitting outside. I was like, dude, the entire like middle of the ocean, like everybody sees like a couple miles out, but that's as far as we can do without like being safe.
Uh-huh.
But like when we get out into the middle of the ocean, nobody knows what is down there. Like we always say like, oh yeah, the what is it, the Mariana Trench? Is that
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's like the
Marinara sauce
deepest.
trends.
Yeah, where we can Jesus dipped his breadsticks in apparently or something. I don't know. But super super deep. Okay? And but like that could not be that might not be the deepest trench. Like in the middle of the ocean there could be like the megalodon just chilling down there. Never know, dude.
Yeah, it's
They caught that
pretty spicy, dude.
pretty spicy.
But it's like shit like that, you know, you think about it, you just can't let it keep you up at night, you know what I mean? Like,
Uh,
am I gonna get abducted tonight? I don't know. Probably not.
See, I don't think about it that way. My whole view on the alien thing is that they're just humans like us. I don't think that they're some advanced race,
I think
personally.
we have depicted them to be what they are. With the big black
Yeah.
eyes, the big fucking
Hmm.
brain. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Watch, we're gonna meet aliens at some point, like at the end of our lives. Like we'll be 90, and Elon Musk will figure out how to live forever, and
Elon.
we'll like fly up to the wherever, and we'll meet aliens, and they'll just be people like us, just as clueless as we are. Just be like, hey,
It'd be like
and they'll
that
be like,
Patrick scene from SpongeBob.
yeah,
Who are you people?
mm-hmm, hey, over here. No, what's next? What do you got?
This is just talking about the Nazi maps. I don't know how in depth you want to go, but I don't even know where to start. It
You don't have to read
mentions,
the whole thing. What's the gist of it?
no, just mentions how they discovered a map of the Third Reich, in which there are several secret passages depicted, which were used by German U-boats to access mysterious underground regions, as well as a complete map of both hemispheres and the mysterious kingdom of Agartha. So they found maps to both access points, from what it sounds like. And they also came across a letter supposedly written by Karl Unger, who was aboard the German U-boat 209, commanded by Heinrich Broda, in which he states that the crew had reached the interior of the Earth and they did not consider coming back. Is it that good?
Or is it that bad?
But why would they not consider coming back?
Because they don't ever want to return.
Well, it says they had reached the interior of the Earth and they did not consider. Yeah.
They didn't consider it. They were like, fuck no, we're never going back there.
There's actually official Nazi instructions to reach Agartha, and it's translated. Do we want to hear that? Do we want to hear?
Yeah, let's hear the left rights of this.
Okay, decent at the point with the coordinates, exact intersection. Okay, that's just latitude and longitude shit. The instructions have to be strictly followed! Exclamation point. Decent. Descent.
Decent, Ricky. That's where it came from, dude. Decent.
Descent. Okay, descent, not decent. Oh,
Decent,
shit.
bro.
So, descent from the
Oh
point
my god.
of descent with half speed, a starboard declination of 10 degrees with a bow heaviness declination angle of 5 degrees. Okay, that's a lot of shit. So given depth, negative 500 meters because of the moving inside the corridor, pressure with ship body, maneuvering, ascent pole load with a stern trim, ascent angle 23 degrees with a port destination of 22 degrees, 190 meters upwards, distance 75.5 meters. Difficult maneuver, ascent full speed with stern trim, angle 41 degrees, proceed straight ahead, 110 meters upwards. This is like
Really in depth.
Yeah, it is. Proceed on the surface with the grotto with a starboard declination of 8 degrees, distance 286 meters. German word maneuver, descent with a bow heaviness, declination 45 degrees. I don't know
Dang.
about that.
How far down did they go? Did
It's
they
like
tell
a lot
you?
of shit.
Does it tell you like exactly how many meters they had to go down?
I think let me read here. Descent angle 7 degrees until 360 meters. Goes down to 380, and then they change all their shit, go 100 meters upwards, and they ascend more. Ascent angle 45 degrees straight ahead until reaching the surface of Agartha. Proceed to Agartha full speed, proceed straight ahead until the new light can be seen. Change of magnetic poles. The changes of the compass needle and instruments are to be disregarded.
Whoa.
So
they're saying they went down and up. That's what they're meaning when they say ascend, ascend.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Disregard compass. Dude.
So,
Dude, you got something. I'm going to be Googling that all weekend long
yeah,
now.
that's interesting. And then there's also maps of like the North Pole. I don't know if this is the North or South Pole, but there's also just like maps of it. It says in that map, I know you guys can't see it, sorry. I can put the links in our little show notes or descriptions or whatever if you guys want to take a look at it. But in that map, the Antarctic continent can be observed without its thick layer of ice. But the most intriguing detail are the presence of underwater passages spanning across the entire continent and seem to converge at the exact location which is identified as the opening towards the hollow Earth or inner Earth. So, I don't know, Chief.
That's some pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, that's pretty. I also have 2 more pages here, but I don't know if we're gonna get to that today.
No, I wouldn't.
I'm pretty sure we covered most of it. I mean, we don't know if it's fucking real or not. Like,
no, but that's definitely something to like Google into. If anybody out there does do a lot of research on that stuff, please message us about that, because that is some cool stuff.
I could put the links whenever we upload it to everything. I'll keep the links open and I'll put the extra ones in there as well. So if anyone's super interested, you can take a look. Super fucking weird, dude. So, I guess that'd be a good time to take our break for our audio listeners and hear the nice, beautiful ad read from my voice. Sound a little robotic in that bitch. I think we're gonna re-record it a little more comfortable.
Oh yeah.
So it's gonna be a little awkward for our Twitch viewers, as usual. We're just gonna sit here and stare at the camera for about 5 seconds. So we'll see you after the little break here. All right, welcome back, everyone, to the Not a Problem Conspiracy Podcast. Yeah, I meant to do that, Mondo. Fuck you. Before you start pounding me. Because 1 week I said, I'm Mondo, and I'm here with my good pal, big boy Mondo.
Yeah. I think that was the first podcast me and you did.
I think that was the second one.
The second one.
Yeah.
That's okay. I said my National Guard career started in 2019.
Yeah, you dumbass. I've been in it for 5 years. I started in 2019.
2019. I'm an
Holy
idiot.
Shit. So, Mondo, what do you got for us? I think the Agartha
Dude.
stuff's done. If anyone wants to look more into that, we spent almost 40 minutes on that. So, anyone wants to look into that, links will be in the show notes.
All right. So mine is on, my first one is going to be on that Big Pharma has a cure for cancer, but they make more money from suppressing it.
See, I've heard about that too. I haven't
Hmm.
gave two fucks enough to like look into it though. I
Yeah,
guess.
I have been arguing this since day one of my existence because think about it this way. So you are selling now like whenever a doctor if you have cancer and you walk in there and a doctor says, you know what, we're going to start you on this form of chemotherapy, he's going to hand you a couple pamphlets about the type.
I just want to say something. I think this is gonna be a touchy subject, so
Yeah,
we should tread a little
trigger
lightly.
trigger alert
But
already.
yeah, go for
No,
it.
you know what, we're going to drop our trigger alert, and if people get spicy about it, then
There you go. Trigger alert.
yeah,
2019.
there you go. Welcome to
Go
it,
for it.
Dabbers. All right, so bunch of butthurt little bitches. Anyways, so
We're all adults.
yeah. Think about, okay, so when you go in there, you have cancer, you meet your doctor, he says, all right, so this is the chemotherapy we're going to put you on. He hands you a couple pamphlets, and he starts talking over the different types of chemotherapy treatments. Each of those chemotherapy treatments come from a different pharmaceutical company, okay?
Okay.
Those pharmaceutical companies offer that hospital a certain amount of money for them to use their stuff.
All right.
Now, if a doctor is binded to one, they give him a massive cut of the money that is used for it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just like, hey, like this goes back to the hospital or anything like that. No, he profits off of giving that person chemotherapy treatments. So, why first off would Big Pharma ever come out or try or work really hard? They could be working for it, like doing stuff and saying like, "Oh yeah, we can do this, we can do that."
Uh huh.
But if if you have a disease that is making them so much money, why would it make sense for them to release a cure for it? Why would it ever make them why would they release something that could make them potentially less money in the long run when they already have a proven way of making money?
Honestly, I'm gonna be learning along with you because I have no idea. Okay. So you're gonna have to
Okay.
teach me some things. I've heard some things about this. I'm not too keen because I don't. This isn't like I'm more into like the Bigfoot shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Bigfoots that transform into other
No.
animals to like go invisible to
Yeah.
get away from you.
And it definitely is a touchy subject. Like I've definitely gotten into a couple arguments with people, and I understand like if you have cancer or if you've had cancer, or have had people that have cancer, this is in no way saying that that was like a bad option for you. This is just a conspiracy theory. This isn't like you're wrong. Okay, this is
Well,
just
you could. It could also be a thing to control the population. You know what I mean?
yeah. And there's a bunch of different there's a lot of different viewpoints of it on what it is all about, like why they wouldn't do a full cure for it. So population control could be one thing, but at the same time, it's mostly a predominant amount of people that have cancer are in the 30s and up range. So it'd be older people.
Mm-hmm.
And most people argue that like abortion is a population control thing. That's a whole different conspiracy theory. But this
Yeah.
is more focused on older people. Now, cancer can be caused by a lot of like life stimuli, like smoking, chewing, and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
But another question that arises is why have people gotten rid of certain things that don't really cause those diseases? Like whenever you somebody who's hooked on or wants to smoke marijuana, something that hasn't really been proven to give anybody cancer,
Mm-hmm.
but they have banned it, outlawed it, like completely. Like you can't do it in most states. You can't do it at all. But cigarettes, tobacco, and everything can be used nationwide. 18 or older, go ahead and buy it when it's proven to give people this life-changing illness that kills them. Because of this is the reason being is because of the fact that the same pharmaceutical companies that have gotten the approval to use for tobacco companies, who have lobbied to get the approval for tobacco companies to use those same chemicals inside their chew and cigarettes and everything, to put them in there, are the same pharmaceutical companies that own cancer treatment facilities.
So what you're saying is that these pharmaceuticals, I can't even say the fucking word, dude.
Pharmaceutical companies.
Pharmaceutical companies. Pharmaceutical companies are putting the stuff in the tobacco to give
Yes.
us the cancer.
Not necessarily putting it in the tobacco, but they have partnered with Big Tobacco. So Big
To-
Pharma, Big Tobacco.
Okay.
They're it's kind of like, I don't know. It's like whenever a police officer uses a criminal to get to bigger criminals or get to other criminals, basically.
Okay, so
So it's like a blind
basically-
partnership.
So basically, you're saying that they're partnering up to hypothetically give the people cancer, so that way they can make more money off of having us to go get
Yeah.
treatment.
Them never stepping. Okay, so they're just gonna say like, you know what, Big Pharma's gonna do Big Tobacco's gonna do their thing. We're just gonna let them do their thing. We're not gonna say anything. We're never gonna go against them. We're never gonna try and get tobacco use brought to a certain a higher age limit, or tobacco use just banned and all out ban. They can't. They don't want to do that. Why? Reason why is because it brings them the patients that they need to make the money. So like you have people that have smoked for 70 years, 60 years, and now they have to give, I mean, when you go to, I don't know the exact amount that you spend whenever you go to a cancer treatment, but it's a lot of money, especially if you have a really high stage of cancer. Like it's a
Yeah.
lot of money that you're dumping into these places. Insurance companies are paying a lot of money. And that's why, I mean, your insurance company asks you whenever you have insurance, hey, do you smoke? Yes. And then they boost up your insurance policy because you have to pay more because there's a higher risk of you getting cancer.
So what you're
But
saying is everyone's colluded with each other to make more money from cancer?
it's like, yeah, it's almost like a
Holy shit.
shadowy kind of, it's like a shadowy kind of collusion though, because they don't actually, I mean, you never see Big Pharma at a fucking like Big Tobacco or the Marlboro conference. You never see that. Like
Yeah.
you won't ever see that. But it's like we allow them to do their thing because they are feeding into us. Big Tobacco makes money no matter what. Everybody out there knows somebody who smokes, knows somebody who buys a pack of cigarettes a day. There are there are billions of dollars in that industry.
Yeah.
But Big Pharma also knows that if they would step on their toes at all, it would push away a massive funding that they have through this entire thing.
Holy shit, dude.
Okay, so like there's obviously an argument for it. You know?
Yeah, I'm kind of blown away. I never
Never thought about it
That's
that
a
way.
lot of like fucking shit going on, dude.
Yeah, well, I
Holy.
mean, there is like I've done my own research because cancer runs in my family like pretty hardcore.
Yeah.
So, and it's everybody's gonna be like, oh, don't chew then. Well, you know, everybody has their vice. Fuck off. But
Okay, dude.
anyway, there the fact that everybody's just buying into it and being like, you know what, pumping radiation into my body can kill this stuff, then that's what we're gonna do. And that's literally what it is.
I just don't like the idea of putting radiation in my body because how long have we been told that radiation is bad for us anyway?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I
And
mean?
the simple fix could be is just ending like campaigning to get tobacco either brought down to the point where that I think that's part of the reason why prices are getting so high for tobacco is that people are starting to push that back. People are starting to say like make it harder on the tobacco companies. But that comes from the people. That's not like Big Pharma saying like, "Hey, this is really killing people out there. We need to stop this." No. How many like you walk into a hospital and it'll say no smoking sign, but like I walked into a hospital probably a month or two ago. There was literally no information on quit smoking now, quit smoking right now, and it could save your life. Nothing like that. You go into a dentist's office, it says smoking yellows your teeth.
Yeah.
Doesn't say anything about it like killing you or
You've
anything
got
like
a
that.
hell of a thing going on here. I honestly don't know what to say.
Yeah, dude. This stuff like pumps me up, man. Like it's just like it.
Holy
I don't know.
shit.
It's something I've gotten like people have been like, hey, I've had a person in my life that's died. I've had people in my life. I've had two grandpas that have died from cancer, and it's like I understand that like this is not this is a touchy subject, but at the
Yeah.
same time, you have to look at it and be like, okay, who in the end is profiting from this literally just pumping chemicals into people's body and then being like, well, we hope it works. And it's like there's other proven ways of it working. And I'm not saying medical marijuana is the number one thing to cure all cancer because I personally don't believe that, but it could be your thing. You do that, you do whatever you want to do. But look at other alternatives instead of just saying, like this is the tried and true method. People for years were brushing their teeth with sugar,
Yeah.
and they thought that that was what cleans. People in the 1700s in England believed that water would hurt them, so they never bathed. And it's
Water
200
does
years.
hurt me.
Well, yeah, I mean, okay. You freaking nasty. He's got rats in his cracker box, by the way.
No, dude. Okay, man. Come on. I want.
No.
Fucking Jesus.
No, but like what I'm saying is 200 years from now, is someone going to look at all of this and be like, so many people didn't have to die just because all it took was a bunch of people to be like, you know what, we're really going to look for other methods other than chemotherapy treatment. Instead of leaving it up to just giving money out to these charities and being like, yeah, go and do this, go look for this, when all they're doing is just funding. It sounds heartless, but giving money to a charity that you don't know where your money's going to end up is just as bad as giving your money to like someone on the side of the street and saying like, yeah, you're not going to go and hurt someone or something like that. Just giving money out randomly in general. That's what I'm trying to say.
Well, you know why most people do it, right? It's because it's like tax write-off.
Yeah.
Well, most.
Oh, yeah.
Famous people, I should say. I don't know. That's just what I assume, but because I'm not rich and famous, nor do I think I'll ever become rich and famous. But I mean, it makes sense, right?
Oh yeah.
So I mean, fuck, dude, you are just down a rabbit hole. I don't know what to say. Still, what else do you got? Like, do you have some like article? Like, what do you got? What'd you look up?
So, I mean, most of that stuff that I've done has already been researched by me, but I'm gonna tag some articles. I'll give you guys some more.
By me,
No.
dude.
By me. No, but I'm gonna definitely give some articles that I've gathered my information off of. There's a lot from what I just in a simple Google search, which is so funny to me. And it kind of like blends into my next topic that I was going to talk about. But just in a simple Google search of Big Pharma hiding cancer, it comes up with all of these like links and websites that are like, oh, Big Pharma would never hide this. Oh, Big Pharma would never do this, never do that. Like they're just like, because there is a pushback from it. You can go into Reddit and read this stuff where it's like people are talking about it. It's a very open dialogue about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll tag everybody in the Good News Network and everything. This is where I got most of the facts of today. But
while you're doing that, I fucking love the Bigfoot theory, dude. It's just like I don't give a shit if he's real. I don't give a shit if he's not. I love it. Everyone's just like so into it, and they got those what are those shows on the Discovery Channel or something with those dudes that just make noises in the woods at night, and they fucking Bigfoots throw rocks at them. I think that is amazing.
Yeah.
I don't.
But
I don't have anything else to say. So this is all you, buddy.
Oh no, you're good. So in 2015.
Okay.
In 2015, from 1950, when they first started treating cancer, like they first really started to actually push the treatment of cancer.
Okay.
In 2015, there's been a 56-fold price differential of increase. So that means that they're not only like looking, and it's not to cure cancer. This is just to help with the symptoms of cancer.
Okay.
So like this is just like they prefer only to like help you. So like they want you. So like if I have a tumor in my stomach, they might try and take it out, and then they're just gonna blast me full of radiation, and I'm gonna pay this absorbent amount of money to get that done to me. But
Mhm.
that is only that's only temporary. And that's not saying that what it can actually do to your body afterwards. The same thing goes for AIDS and HIV. So there was, whenever AIDS and HIV first came out, it was known as gay cancer. That's what they thought it was.
Yeah,
They
I actually
thought it was a
just listened
cancer.
to, funny enough, a conspiracy theory podcast about that epidemic that happened when Reagan was president. I think it was
Yeah.
Reagan.
So the initial medicine that they used was a really, really, really like it was killing people faster than AIDS was actually. So they were pushing it into people, giving it to people, and it was actually just ravaging their bodies faster than AIDS could even kill them.
Well, you know what AIDS and HIV does, right? HIV turns into AIDS,
Yeah, it
and
turns
then
into AIDS,
it
and then you
ruins your
just get
immune
sick.
system.
Like
Yeah.
you have no immune system, and then everything kills you. Well, pretty much, that's what I mean by it. Like AIDS isn't actually what kills you; it's all the sicknesses that you get.
Yeah.
But what it was doing was it was hurting the person. It was depleting their immune system faster than anything else. Well, there's a movie on it actually too, and it's called the Texas Buyers Club, I think. And the movie's really good. If you haven't seen it, check it out. But what the whole concept of the movie is based upon, and what it is a true story. There are some aspects of it that aren't real, but there are a lot of it is factual. There, since they released this whole entire drug onto people, and it was kind of uncovered that the pharmaceutical company was really preying on people with this drug. They were denying the what is the drug agency that approves drugs?
Um. F. Was it F?
FTC?
No, that's what you do.
No.
FDA, Food and Drug Administration.
Yeah.
Right?
So they were the FDA was denying FTC. Jesus. The FDA was denying certain drugs to come through, even trial drugs, just people trying to figure out a different option for this drug. But nobody was letting it happen because everybody was buying this stuff like crazy. Oh, the heroin addicts, everybody. Everybody that had AIDS that had AIDS or had HIV that was spreading it to each other, they were all buying this and then hoping that it was doing something for them. Well, a group of people got together and started lobbying against this, and then finally got it overturned that the FTC,
Food and Drug Administration, FDA. There
FDA
you go.
was then able to approve a drug that was less harmful to humans but benefited HIV and was actually able to hold off the HIV virus for a longer period of time. That just goes to show that the Big Pharma is not going to just approve something right off the bat if they're making money off of it.
Yeah.
Like they refuse to. Are we waving it?
I was waving at our buddy Falcon in the Twitch chat because I didn't want to interrupt you. Yeah.
And
you've got a hell of a thing, man. I had no idea about any of this.
so like
informative.
yeah, and it's just like the government, like everybody wants to believe, oh, the government's your friend, the government's your friend, the government's your friend. But the government used to be able to be manipulated by the people. Like we used to be able to tell the government, hey, this is what we want. If you don't do that, this is our time. We can overthrow you.
Okay.
Like that's the whole point of America.
Uh-huh.
Now it's gotten to the point where we just have to accept by our own blind judgment that this is what we need to do. This is how we need to accept it. And so my big warning to everybody is just out of this conspiracy theory, because this is one that I actually believe.
Mm-hmm.
So like this isn't just like one of those ones where I'm just like throwing it out there. I think it's cool.
Yeet.
Do her. Look into it. Just do
Yeah.
your research.
That's
And if,
when we get because I think Mondo's Audacity's messed up, so we're gonna need to pull the audio from the YouTube video. So whenever that gets uploaded, we're gonna put all the links to all this stuff in the notes or in the description, whatever you want to call it. And it's quite a bit. I think I didn't get to talk about. Wait, do you have any more? First off.
no, that's it for that one.
Jesus, do you want to wait for next week to talk about the other two that we have? Because we're at an hour.
Ooh.
Yeah, we were bullshitting a lot.
Oh damn.
That was.
I
Yeah.
got into it.
Yeah, you did. You were like 20, 30 minutes.
Well, we can fit. Let's do what do you think? An hour and a half on this one?
It doesn't matter.
Because I could throw
Just-
one more in there, and then we could do another next week. We could just do it a 2-part.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
You down with that?
Yeah. What else do you got?
Well,
Unless you want me to
I have
talk
one or
about
two.
mine.
Well, you did too.
Did I?
Concave and Hollow Earth,
Oh
right?
yeah, concave was like 45 degrees, dude. Whatever.
We could just talk about aliens for 30 minutes.
We could. I mean, what
And
do
then
you?
just leave the rest of them for next week so we could do more research on
Yeah, I
them.
mean, I think the next one that I have is gonna be fairly short. It's I think most people know what it is or
Yeah,
what
you
it's
should save
about.
that one.
So what do you got on aliens, bro?
Dude,
Let's hear it.
let's get it. I'm excited now, dude. So what are your views on aliens, man? This, like you've heard me like yap about, but you've never like actually like voiced up and been like,
There's no fucking way they aren't real. Okay? Like I said, this isn't anything that I stay up at night about. Like, it's just like I said, I listen to that Mysterious Universe podcast every week. They haven't really talked about aliens that much. They've been talking about a lot of like spectral shit,
mm-hmm,
like spectral jellyfish in the atmosphere. What the fuck? You know what I mean?
mm-hmm,
And sometimes they talk about the alien encounters and stuff. They one time they had like a 2-hour episode on like it started off with Roswell back in the
yeah,
day. There's no there's no way that they aren't there. It's just everything's just too big. If you go
yeah,
somewhere like what blows my mind is if we're playing army out in the middle of nowhere and
mm-hmm.
there's no lights obviously so you can see the stars in the Milky Way and in best case scenarios. How big is that, dude? Like,
Oh
there's
yeah,
so
dude.
much shit.
California,
Yeah,
California.
out in the desert. Yeah.
Holy cow. Those start like and that's the thing is there's so many like you run into some and if you're talking about aliens they're like, "Oh, there's no such thing. That's just made up and all this other."
Hey, you're cutting
It's,
out, so
is that better?
yeah, that's gooder.
All right. My mic got a little away from my face cuz I was getting so
Waving
into it that
around,
my
dude.
mic was running away from. Oh, man, call me Callie. And so if you are I mean if you think that the universe is ever expanding or so vast that we've never even gotten off we've barely even gotten past the moon yet. Like we can barely get past the moon and Mars and everybody wants to say that like there's no way that there's aliens out there. There's no way and they don't even have to be green. They could be people that look like us or maybe even something totally different and not anywhere more advanced than us. They
See,
could be struggling out there.
but how do we get the encounters? How do they come and see us if they're not more advanced than us?
I mean, what if there's more? There's there and that's where I get hung up on. That's like where my mind starts going because I always think of like, oh yeah, there's other aliens out there. There's one other alien like way out there. But like there could be more. Like there could be like like if that like race of aliens that is ahead of us, they might be ahead of us in that area, but like their whole planet could be like they get sick once they die. Like it could be a totally different ecosystem that they live in, like a totally different like biological universe, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it could be, but then they're also going to be adapted to that planet, whatever it may be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we can't live in. I mean, we can, but if we can't, like our planet is just situated in the most perfect spot, not too close to the sun, not too far, right?
Yeah. Like we can't live anywhere else.
It's there. Like that's where we were put. And you know what? I was okay. So I've been a little sick, right? You know this. So I've been on and off the toilet a lot. So I was on the toilet earlier, okay, and I was looking through Snapchat stories, and I ended up getting on some story. You know how they have like the news ones and like the one about the celebrities, like, oh my god, she wore a bikini. So I don't give a fuck. But besides the fact, I stumbled across one that it was this theory that we are in an alien zoo. Like the aliens have us, and like our planet is a zoo, and they just come down to check on us once in a while, and like we're just there so they can like watch us. How I was sitting there, and my phone ended up like going black or something because I put it down or I was doing something else, and I
Got a
lost
text
it.
from the FBI that was like, stop thinking that.
Get off the toilet now.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, I've never heard of that, and that was kind of like a oh shit moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's fucking weird, dude.
And you want to hear something even weirder? This is gonna blow your mind hardcore.
Go on.
Okay. Think about it this way. You know how an atom, like everybody says, an atom is the most intricate thing in the world. Like nobody can really like gather how intricate an atom
Like,
is.
hold on, like atom or like an atom.
Like an atom, like a little tiny atom.
Atom.
Like, yeah. So, what if our world is an atom making up something bigger?
God,
Just
this
imagine for
fucking
just
hole
2
is
seconds.
just going deeper and deeper.
We're going as deep as we can. Just imagine that we are just a fucking little tiny atom in the whole scape of things, and we're floating in some cell. And once that cell's squished, we're done.
Well, yeah, I don't know, man. Like,
Mhm.
what is it? I don't mean to like steal content from the podcast I listened to, but they talked about last week is Mysterious Universe. Benjamin Grundy and Aaron Wright, I think is their names.
Go check them out.
Two Australian guys, fucking amazing. They've been doing that. They've been doing Mysterious Universe, I think, for like 10, 12 years. So they know their shit. And they talked about last week how babies, okay,
Hmm.
have like physical and like what's the word I'm looking for? They have like sense before they're born, and
Yeah.
like when these kids are up to like 6 years old, I think. There was a study about on these kids. Some dude from China or somewhere did it, and most of these kids remembered that they chose their mom. Like they remember sitting on a computer in the place above or something like that, or like flying around or like spinning the Earth like a globe, you know, in like a history class, and
Yeah.
like zooming in on it and like picking their mom. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
It's like what the fuck is that? You know what I mean? Is that
Yeah.
we seeing babies picking their mom, dude?
No,
It's
picking
just
your
like,
mom, dude.
I don't know. There's a lot of weird shit going on, man. Because kids at that age, I don't know if you want to say they don't know how to lie, but they're usually pretty honest. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude.
I don't quite get it.
Yeah,
What else you
definitely,
got? I don't
definitely quite a rabbit hole.
I don't know what else. Like aliens, dude. Fuck.
Like aliens, dude. Fuck, what a soundbite. That decent.
Do you think they why do you think if there are aliens, why do you think they come down and like check us out, fly around, see what's up?
Think about it this way. This is my theory on it.
Mm-hmm.
So, when we go to the moon, we obviously can't live there. Like whenever people go up there
Mm-hmm.
and they touch on the moon, they stomp their little feet around, then they get back in the fucking thing and they shoot off into the sky. Okay, they go back into their little plane and they fly back to Earth. Maybe they're the same way. Maybe they like look at our planet as like, wow, we can't live here, but we want to see. Like we just want to check it out.
Yeah.
And they come by, they look at it, and they're like, you know, we couldn't even. What if they can't even? They haven't developed. They've developed how to get here, but what if they've not developed how that they can like a type of environmental suit to come and actually stand on our land without dying? Think about it this way: like, what does their newsreel over there say? Like when their little guys fly over here and they crashed into Roswell or whatever, when everybody says they crashed into Roswell, what did their news say? Like, oh, they were lost into oblivion. Like we don't know where they went. We don't know where they went down. Or are these other planes coming to actually look and find them?
I have a slight argument for that. Okay, so in Kentucky,
Mhm.
there's what they're called like the goblins, I think. Okay, and there's this big
Yeah.
cave system in Kentucky that I think it's in Kentucky. It reaches like spans out between all kinds of states and stuff, and everywhere there's an exit to this tunnel system, this cave system. There's been spottings of these three-toed like goblin things. Okay, and this was kind of back in the day. It's kind of back in the day, okay.
Yeah.
And there's some drawings of them. You could look it up. They call them the Kentucky Goblins. I watched the docu series on it. I didn't finish it. I got most of the way through it though. And there's there's a what was it? A depiction of these little fucking goblin things like wearing like a miniature suit
Hmm.
to protect them, quote unquote. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
what if they already have it? You know?
Yeah.
And from what I understand, there might have been in this little Kentucky town, there was some type of crash. I don't know if it was a UFO crash, whatever it was, comment. But ever since then, there's always been sightings of these Kentucky Goblins.
Kentucky Goblins.
You should look it up. At
I'm
some
gonna look
point.
up Kentucky Goblins.
Kentucky Goblins. Watch the docuseries. It's fucking amazing. Also, what Falcon said in Twitch chat here, Element 115 is a big deal. I'm pretty sure that's how UFOs are powered, so that way they can fly around, blah blah blah, that dumb shit that they do. One of the podcast episodes I listened to talked about a dude who worked at Area 51 and like one of the secret parts of it, even though it's fairly secretive now. What he did was like he was able to go inside of these UFOs that the Area 51 people had. He was able to look at them, and one of the times they were talking about near the end that this dude like had some, what is it, Element 115, and he like has it, and they were coming to look for it and take it away or whatever, but apparently he hid it or buried it in his yard or whatever it may be, hid it somewhere, and they couldn't find it. Now I don't know if this dude's dead now or what, but he supposedly took some 115 with him, and you know, he was talking and in his book, whatever it was, that when he was like under the UFO, it had such a highly advanced like camouflage system. When you looked under it, it was just see-through. You could just see the night sky, but when you walked out to the side of it or whatever, you could see, you know, the whole actual UFO.
Jeez.
You know what I mean? So, fuck. Shit's,
yeah.
I don't know, man.
Oh man.
We are not there. I'll tell you
The
that.
Google searches. No, we are not. We are not there yet. I don't even know how you'd fight something like that. I don't even think it's possible.
Probably
If they
not.
ever design. You know, they could be. Everybody depicts them as like they're gonna attack the world, take it over, but it could just be like they just show up and are like, hey, like, let's get you to our planet.
Or it's the Nazis flying around in their saucers from Antarctica. Okay. Or it's
Holy cow! We've gone through a whole new
oh god.
We're entering the wormhole now.
Yeah, I don't know. What else do you think? I think why they come down, if they do, okay, if they are real, whatever it is, I think they come down to scope us out, see what's going on, see if we got any shit that they could have, you know what I mean, or how weak or strong we are in regards to if they want to attack us or not. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it could just be a whole big scouting thing, and then the end of the world really isn't the end of the world. We just all end up leaving this Earth because we all get taken away to their planet, and then we become, yeah. And they hook up our bodies to all these pipes and stuff, and they do these experiments on us.
You wish, dude. I know you just want to be connected to a bunch of pipes.
Feed off me.
There was also, what the fuck? I think I told you about this. It was some treaty signed by one of the presidents with like an alien leader to like that we won't let people know about them and they will leave us alone or whatever, you know what I mean? Or like won't attack us. It was some kind of treaty deal. I don't remember too much about it, so I'm not going to go in depth because I don't want to steer anyone like astray. But what if we have a treaty? What if every new president, fucking alien leader comes down, signs a treaty with the president of the United States, or
that reminds me of Futurama.
Mm-hmm.
When the aliens, every single time the aliens attack Earth, they always give them a new treaty, but they say they got to kill all these people first, and then they just leave. Just to practice taking over civilizations, they like kick the shit out of Earth, and then they come down and say, "Hey, we're gonna offer you a peace treaty, but you got to kill this person," and then they leave.
I miss Futurama.
Man, I know they took it off Netflix. Bad idea.
Oh my god, what else do you got, man? Anything? I think I'm running out of juice here.
I don't got much more here. I don't really got anything else. I mean, I could definitely do this a 2-part for next week so that we can throw some more stuff. I
still got the Mandela effect. Ba-ba-da.
But what I think we could do here today is I see that our chat is talking a little bit. We could probably end the YouTube video and then do a question and answer thing with the chat.
Yes, dude. Hey, Falcon's got it in chat here.
I know. I've been reading him the whole time.
Yeah. He's got
been reading him the whole time.
Knows, man. Why didn't
I know,
bring him
dude.
on?
This guy, I know. We're definitely gonna talk to him. So, this is where we're gonna end the YouTube video. Next week, Sunday, 5:30
Yeah, I'm
Eastern
down with
Standard
that.
Time.
Yeah.
Roger Dodger. I mean, you guys, I'm gonna take the audio off of the YouTube video and we're gonna put it up there on our Anchor, so you guys can get it on all those different platforms that we usually offer. But
So wait, what are we doing right now? I'm kind of confused.
so we're gonna do a question and answer. So
Okay.
we're gonna do us talking to chat.
Oh,
We're gonna
okay. So we're
end,
just gonna cut
yeah.
the YouTube video. We're just
So the YouTube video, yeah.
okay. All right.
So if you're tuning into the YouTube video now, get over to our Twitch channel next week, and we'll actually end up talking to the chat after our YouTube video ends, and so you guys can ask questions, or you guys can bring over your conspiracy theories, and who knows, maybe we'll talk about them the next week.
Hell yeah, bitch.
All right, so we'll see you guys next week.
Yeah, we'll see you guys next week. Be sure to follow us. What is it? Twitter at problem_podcast. All our Anchor, everything's on Anchor, dude. It's what is it? Anchor.fm/not a problem podcast or not a problem.
Not our podcast. Not our
Anchor.fm
problem podcast.
/not a problem. Twitch, not a prob pod. Just like go give us a follow, dude. You know, I try to keep Twitch updated as much as I can. Not Twitch, Twitter. So
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll see you guys next week.
Yeah.
Bye. All right.